topnewsage.com.
Knowledge for all ages.
Welcome Arnold to Top Usage. What's the best way to get rid of belly fat?
Well, obviously, you must be a guy when you ask a question like that, because usually women would say, how do I improve my outer thigh or my inner thigh? They're flabby, or the back of the arms are flabby, or how can I make sure that my breasts are becoming a little bit more firm, and then they will go to the stomach. But guys, I see a guy, I just saw a guy the other day in Gold's Gym, an old friend of mine, who always was muscular. You know something? That now 20 years later, I've seen him for the first time again, he was still muscular. But all of a sudden he had the gut sticking out to here. It literally looked like he was 8 months pregnant. But everything else, the calves, the thighs, the arms and everything when he trained was still muscular. So it was only the stomach, because that's where guys get attacked, is the stomach. So it's the simple rule is, whenever you eat fattening foods or you get older and your metabolism slows down, where does it go first with the guy? It goes to the stomach. But also when you now go on a diet, the first place that it leaves is the stomach. So there is really no specific diet for the stomach. It's just in general, you want to lose body fat. Your body fat maybe is at 15%, you want to get it down to 12% or to 10%. And the way you do that is by burning more calories every day than you eat. So what you want to do is let's say to take 2,000, the number 2,000. You want to go and have 2,000 calories that you eat every day, but burn off 2,500 calories a day. And now you have a negative of 500, and every day you will start slowly going down with the body weight and down with the body fat. And the first place where it will go is at the stomach. So you do your stomach exercises at the same time, your crunches. Remember, 200 crunches every day is a must. You shouldn't even start the day without doing 200 crunches when you get out of bed. And then you do some sit-ups and some leg raises, some twists and all those kind of things. Do some bicycling, obviously some cardiovascular work, but also work out with the weights. That is how you get the stomach down. And then of course, don't forget to do the vacuum. Practice the vacuum. So that when I'm gonna stand up right now, you stand like this, and you hold it like that, 15 seconds, 3 times 15 seconds, and now your brain starts remembering, oh, one of the functions I have is pulling the stomach in, not letting it hang out, but pulling it in, controlling it. As much as you practice every day standing across against the wall. It reminds you always, and reminds the back that you got to keep your back straight rather than slouching down like so many guys do when they get to be like 40, 45, all of a sudden they walk around like that, like beaten dogs. I hate that look. So forget about that. So stand against the wall every day and just practice and keep your head back, your chest out, and stand like this for 5 minutes. It reminds the head, the brain, that it has to keep you straight all day. The same is with the stomach always. Keeps you always pulling in the stomach and remind you not to just let it out and be out of control.
What was your best squat?
My best squat was around 575, but like I said, many times I went up to 550, but they very rarely went to 575, but it was my best. I would also say at the same time that squat was never my number one strength. I did not have the right leg length and the right proportions for really being a good squatter. So I was struggling much more. I was bending forward much more. I was having to put a block underneath my heels to keep straight, to keep the body straight. I remember that Franco Colombo, he had the perfect body for squats. So Ken Waller had a perfect body, Sergio Liver. They all had like a really great body, perfect bone structure for squats. I never did it, but I did it. I did my 10 sets of squats, and I did a lot of front squats. I had the bar coming across here, and had my arms here holding the bar, keeping the elbows up high, and then just looking up and going down, because that kept my position and my body pretty straight. So I did that a lot of times. But the squat is just a very important exercise. It's like deadlift and bench press and like rowing, bent over rowing, and dumbbell flies and barbell curls. These are all basic exercises that you need to do. So I was a fanatic about squats. And I used to train with people like Franco that were good squatters to inspire me.
I'm a 35-year-old who just started strength training for the first time in my life. Do you have any advice for a late beginner?
Well, the first advice I will give you is not to make the same mistake I made. I went to a weightlifting gym and I asked the guys to train me, and then they trained me for 2 hours, which was way too much. But I think this was their way of kind of like having fun with me. I was 15 years old, and those champions there in this weightlifting club just said, yeah, try to do this exercise, and you got to do this exercise, and you got to do this, and do 5 sets, and do 10 reps, and do 15 reps, and all this. And so then when I was finished, I remember I was driving home with the bicycle. I was riding for around a half an hour, 45 minutes, everything was dandy and fine. But then all of a sudden, I had no more feeling in my hands. Absolutely, the feelings went awry, and it was gone. And all of a sudden, I landed in a ditch and wiped out with the bicycle because I didn't know how to hold on to the bar, and I didn't have any feelings anymore in my hands. And then all of a sudden, my legs gave out. So I was like walking home, like totally wobbly, and it was disastrous. And the next day, I was so sore everywhere. So that was the wrong way to start. So what I would do is just simply do no more than 3 sets a body part. There's no hurry. We've done it all these years without it. So now just slowly start to 3 sets of 10 reps for each exercise, 3 sets of curls, 3 sets of triceps extensions, 3 sets of shoulder press, 3 sets of squats, everything 3 sets, and then let it be. And then slowly work up there from there. And then as soon as you start detecting that there's certain areas that you develop really well because of genetics, and other areas that you won't develop well, that they're falling behind, then you know how to make the adjustment to your training, where you keep doing the 3 sets for the body parts that grow really well, but you now increase to 5 sets of body part, or 6 sets to those body parts that don't grow so well and that are falling behind. And this is how you then make the adjustments, and that's why I always say, everyone cannot train the same training routine, because everyone has a different body and everyone has different needs.
How long do you usually ride a bicycle?
You know, there's really no usual. I would say no more than an hour. I would say the average is around an hour. And I work out with weights 45 minutes a day. So that's like an hour and 45 minutes. And sometimes I do some extra work, stretching exercises, or some ab exercises and stuff like that. And then there are occasions, like when I'm up in Sun Valley, where I ride maybe 2 hours or 2.5 hours. But I would say I'm not one of those fanatics that has to be on the bike all day long, like some people do. I'm happy with an hour workout to really, you know, kind of put some stress on it, on my heart and on the cardiovascular system, and also to put some pressure on my legs and to really go, and then casually ride again, and then go, and really pedal really hard. I think it's great, and it really is great for my head also. I really feel great after a great bike ride.
Did you ever do any strongman training, like the stones or the farmer carries?
Well, part of my bodybuilding training was powerlifting. So we did strongman stuff, but I did not do like the stone lifting. There was a stone lifting in Munich, but we didn't really train for it because that stone or that cement block, it was really, that weighed 580 pounds. It wasn't really available all year. So they would bring it out at Beer Fest, and then they will be available for 30 days. And so you compete these 30 days, you can come there and you can be the day's champion, and they will register you and will write you down, and you get listed as one of the champions of the day. And then on the end of the month, all the 30 champions of this, each day, the champions, they come together on this one day and they compete against each other. So that's, and then that stone goes away again. So you can't really train with that all year long. But I mean, we would do, you know, lifting, heavy lifting, power lifting and stuff like that. But I wouldn't say I did any of the traditional strongman stuff, like throwing tires and you know, throwing logs through the air and all that stuff. I never did any of that.
What was your worst injury?
I think the worst injury that I've ever had was my knee injury, which occurred in South Africa doing a combination of a squat when the weightlifting platform moved apart, and all of a sudden the legs started spreading, and I had 500 pounds on my shoulder, and the whole thing started collapsing, the weight falling over me and all this. And then the leg straightened out and was shaking there on stage, and my leg was shaking, and then it popped back in. So I said to myself, even though I was sweating and I was kind of almost passing out, I said to myself that, I can get up. And they helped me up, and I got up, and I said, I can walk, even though very, kind of slow with a limp, but I could walk. So therefore, I could do my posing routine. I just, remember not to be that kind of, to be careful. And then, sure enough, I would do my posing routine, and then the people were screaming, and I started getting carried away because people were screaming and applauding and standing ovation, that I would come back out on stage after an accident like that. And I totally forgot not to go down to my kneeling shot, where I had one leg spread out like that and one leg bent, and I'm doing my double bicep pose. And I went down like that, and then the knee went pop back out again. And then I fell over, and I was like in pain again, and I was shaking, and then it popped loud again and all that stuff. I mean, people heard it all the way to the back row. It was like wild. And so then I had to come back, and I had to get knee surgery. And then the doctor said, I had the cartilage surgery, meniscus, the kneecap was moved to the side, the tendon was torn, and blah, blah, blah. I mean, everything was wrong with the knee. But I had a good doctor by the name of Dr. Carter, from Curlin and Job, from their office here, and I had good physical therapy afterwards, and within 4 months I could start squatting again and prepare myself for the 1973 Mr. Olympia competition, and my thighs were actually the best in 1973 because I really paid close attention to it and made this kind of like the priority principle. Joe Weed always talked about the Weeder priority principle, but this is what it was, where I did thighs first from that point on and really paid close attention to it.
What's your favorite movie line from your movies?
Well, whenever someone asks me, what is my favorite? What's my favorite book? What's my favorite exercise? What is my favorite line? What's my favorite movie? All of this, I never can answer it because there really is no such thing as the one favorite. I can give you a few. I mean, I think that the ones that are the most common, that are out there, that are the most popular ones, if it's the I'll be back, or hasta la vista baby, or I'm gonna ram my fist in your stomach and break your goddamn spine, or you shouldn't drink and bake, or if it is hasta la vista, or stick around after I hit the guy with the knife in the chest, all of this, I think these are all cool lines, and I think the trick of it is just not just what you say, but how you say it. It's all about the attitude, because people really enjoy the attitude about the whole thing. I think it was like when I was sitting on Commander in the airplane, and this big monster black guy was supposed to guard me, and then I just broke his neck in the plane quickly, and then the stewardess came, the flight attendant came, and she says, "Can I help you?" And I said, "Well, just leave him alone, leave him asleep because he's dead tired." Just the way I said it, because he was dead by now, to say he's dead tired. I think that she did not know what I was talking about, but the audience knew what I was talking about. So that's what made it actually funny, the funny line.
Arnold, which direction is the beach?
The beach is right over there. And it's very important that you follow all the way over there. And then, of course, it's very important that when we drink, that we do it the right way. Anyway, sometimes when you have a problem pumping up your bicep and you don't have really a way to get to the gym, just pump it up.
Okay,
so that's what you do. And then you can do this with the back throw also. Like this is this finger, not the thumb. The thumb is for the bicep. This finger is for the. Then this finger here is for this. So it really depends. Then it's with both fingers. So it really depends, you know, what the situation is. This finger. Ow. Okay. All right, I forgot again. Gustav, come here. Come here, Gustav. Come. He's my training partner. Hi, Gustav. Say hi. Good boy, Gustav.
Last question. Do you still have the Conan sword?
Yeah, of course. As a matter of fact, the Conan sword is always in my office. Here, look at this. Crush your enemy. See them driven before you and hear the lamentation of their women.
Tell us what you think in comments down below.
Subscribe to Top Nasage for more news and entertainment from around the world.